Hello everyone, and this is a Java programming tutorial. And okay, so this will be a Hello World tutorial. So I am using IntelliJ Community Edition 12, and let's just start that up. And loads quite fast. And okay, so now you come to the main screen, and you're gonna hit create a new project. And so basically this tutorial is for people who want to learn Java, but it's meant to be a more challenging kind of tutorial where we're going to be moving a lot faster than other tutorials that may be out there. So name your project whatever you want, and I'm just gonna call it tutorial project. Next, and make sure that your project SDK is 1.7, which is Java 7, or if you don't have Java 7, Java 6. Now you may see that I have Java 1.8 early access, and we may come to that in a later episode. Anyway, so just hit next, and we don't need to use any groovy libraries, so that may be covered later, and finish. And that update, we don't need that right now, and it takes some time, and you'll see that it will open up, and it'll give you like a tip of the day. And if you want to, you can look at that, but I don't really need that. Okay, so now you're gonna hit that little icon right there and go to a source, and you're gonna right click. You're gonna hit new Java class, and we're gonna call it tutorial. Okay, and hit OK. And it will load. Some lag sometimes, but it should be fine. And there you go. Now, if you're using IntelliJ 12, you'll see that there's a new cool look called Darkula, or whatever you want to call it. It's, as they say, the darker side of coding. And basically what they do is they just make this like darker. So now the first thing to do is create a main method. Now if you're new to programming, you'll have no idea what we're talking about. So I'll go into a brief overview on that. However, if you do have experience with, for example, C++ or C or even C#, you could just fast forward and get to the actual main. Okay, so the main is where the program will start. So and in Java is defined like this: public, which means it's accessible to other classes; static, void, main, string, arguments, which I just abbreviate as args. Okay. So now, basically what we need to do is we're going to do a simple hello world. But before we get to that, we need to explain what these mean. If you know C or C# or another object-oriented language, you would be pretty pretty well rounded on this kind. So public just means if you had another class, it can be accessible. Static is something that we will cover later when we deal with actual object-oriented programming, and why you don't actually need an object to call the static. Void just means it returns nothing. It returns like a void, which is pretty much like null or nothing. And main is just the name. And if you do not name it main, the Java virtual machine called JVM will not know where to start. Now, what string array? This is an array, by the way. This string array arguments. This can be called anything. I just called it args for short. And what this means is your program can be you can pass arguments to it. And currently, we're not going to deal with anything like that, but we will deal with them in a later episode. So, let's go on to write our simple hello world program. Okay, so we type system dot out dot print ln and hello world. And what I like about IntelliJ is that it auto-completes, and it makes it easier to see the actual classes and functions in the class. So now that we're done, we're going to hit run, and run ... And you see this tutorial? That means it has figured out that this is the class that we want to run because it has a valid main program. So we hit OK. We'll click the button, and you'll see down here, I'm going to make this full screen, that it's doing make. So it's currently building a class file where it's taking your .java file, which if we go to the actual location, you'll see that it is going to build something. And there you go. We got a hello world. So the thing with IntelliJ is it is going to take the class file, it's going to run the JVM, and if you look at this is kind of interesting, that you see what it's executing. It's executing Java minus the idea launcher and so on and so on, and you'll see it's including lots of the Java jar files and stuff like that. So you don't need to worry about this. It will all run. And if you see hello world and the process finished with exit code 0, which means it succeeded. Now, if you don't want to use IntelliJ, that is okay. You will have to find where it's located. So on my machine, it's located under users and idea project. So, and I call mine the tutorial project. If you go to out, production, tutorial project, and there's your tutorial.class. So what you can do is you can run the Windows command processor, also known as command prompt, and just go to there. Now I'm just gonna go to the tutorial project. We'll just do dir, and you will see that tutorial.class is there. What we're gonna do is Java. And if you don't know that Java has been added to the class path, so you can see we can run Java, and if you give no parameters, it'll tell you how to use it and whatever things it needs. Okay, so what we'll do is Java tutorial. You don't do tutorial.class. I tried that. That doesn't seem to work. And then, boom, hello world. If you want to see what tutorial.class does, it'll say error, could not find or load main class tutorial.class, because I'm pretty sure it's doing tutorial.class. So if our thing was called tutorial.class, then it would find it, but it's not, so we're not doing that. So that's pretty much it, and that is your first hello world in Java. So stay tuned for a new episode. Bye.